Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to the Trade the Market Open and Close with 10-minute trades. Let me know that you can hear me. Give me a heads up that you're able to hear me and see the charts, see my screens, and we'll get started right away. So just give me a heads up. I know you can hear me. Thank you, Leonard. So thanks everybody who came here today looking for some good info. Another great free educational webinar from 10-minute trades every Thursday. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-minute trades, sometimes on Friday. You never know when. Check your email. Okay. Keep in mind, it is possible to lose money trading futures. Please trade carefully. All the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. All right. Just a reminder, we trade using the appointment-based trading system. We use the NinjaTrader platform and we trade futures. And I say this over and over and over all the time. When we talk about trading earnings, which is something we do, we're using futures. We look at the stocks. We have tools that we use, but ultimately, when the trade comes up, we are trading futures. And our software installs into NinjaTrader. We have a system at 10-minute trades, and our system is great, and we have a lot of good setups, a lot of reliable setups. And today we're going to talk about 90% the market open, and then I'll tell you my favorite market close setup. We have software. We've got 4 elements that make up our system. Our software is called NewsTrader software, JOBB NewsTrader software, version 11, if you want to get technical. And our system is made up of 4 important elements: the weekly market mover, which is the weekly schedule; the daily market mover, which is a daily trade report when appropriate. There's not always a daily trade report, like tomorrow, for instance. We don't have a daily trade report, but we'll still be in the trade room trading the market open. That doesn't mean we're not going to be around just because a DMM trade report doesn't get sent out. Not every event that we trade gets treated to a DMM, a daily market mover. And the third element in our system is trade room access, and then, of course, the software. Those 4 elements make up what we call our pro membership, and that's the best way to deal with us at 10-minute trades. You can get a subscription just to the DMMs, and a lot of people just get our daily trade reports and they trade them. It's better if you come into the trade room, because with these markets, with the tweeting, with the comments by the Fed, you never know who's going to make a comment that's going to change the market at that exact moment. Coming into the trade room before an event is the best way to handle trading the news, because it keeps you on top up to the second, so that if any changes or modifications are going to be made because of market volatility, comments that might have been made, you'll be ready. You'll be up to date with the up to the second possible changes, because real life intrudes. We have 3 or 4 major calendars that are free that help us find events to trade. We start by back testing high impact events, and then medium impact, then low impact. We pick the trades that fit schedules the best. We are not going to avoid, however, an event just because it's overnight. We have our weekly schedule, and our weekly schedule gets sent out to anybody that wants it. Our weekly schedule is free. It can help to keep you safe during the week while you're trading, and everybody can get our weekly schedule for free. You just go to our website, 10minutetrades.com, opt in for the free video, how to find 10-minute trades, and we'll put you on the email list to get the weekly schedule. And it is great to get that weekly schedule. Like I said, let me show you a sample, an up-to-date this week's weekly schedule. So this is what we were doing this week so far. And we still have one more day. This is an average weekly schedule. It's got the trigger time. The first thing is on the left, the time the event we're looking at takes place. Then it's got Trade room opens. If we have a trade room for that event, it shows you what time our trade room is going to open. Traditionally, most of our trade rooms open 30 minutes before an event. So we could talk about the event, look at previous videos of that event, make decisions about whether or not it's a good enough event to trade. And what does that mean, a good enough event to trade? We're not necessarily looking at Elliott Wave or Ichimoku clouds. Nah, we're not looking at that kind of stuff very much because we're looking at how did the event behave the last time it came out, the time before that. We want to trade the events that are performing the best. It could have a great Elliott Wave, but that doesn't mean anything. Not for the way that we trade. So that's important to understand how we differ from so many other trading rooms. Also, of course, you're going to get the date the event takes place. And then we have something that we call family money trades. Some of our events get labeled family money trades. That means they are the best of the best. Those are the events that more consistent than other events are returning a profit. They're way better than 50-50 as a general rule. So to be a family money trade, an event almost always, not always, but almost always, needs to have at least a 70% success rate. There are times, though, when an event has a history, years of making a profit, and it might be going through a rough patch. It could still get family money connotation because the opportunity for profit is still there. And these are things, there are nuances to everything involved in life and in trading, of course. And again, coming into the trade room, discussing the nuances is very helpful, keeping you up to date, up to the second on whether or not you might want to risk your money on a trade. And then we also mentioned the index we're trading, and that can change. Anything can change. There might be late testing. Sometimes we do our testing after the weekly schedule comes out. If that happens, then we might update the instrument that we're trading. So if we say, for instance, the FOMC statement, it says that we're trading the NQ. Well, we also trade the ES on that report. So maybe we did some recent testing and the ES was unbelievable. We could add that when we get to the trade room. So everything that's printed is always a guide. Printed material is not always in stone because the market isn't in stone. You can't use the words always and never when it comes to the markets because they just when you say always, it does something that it didn't always do. So you got to keep an open mind. You want to think outside the box. You want to be creative. You want to control your fear. You need to control your psychology. And these are all the things we talk about and deal with in the trade room. And then finally, we have a little note section on the weekly schedule. We let you know when we're streaming on YouTube. And then we have a connotation called the watched item. What is a watched item as it appears on the weekly schedule? It could be a couple of things that watch means. It might just mean, hey, here's a report we never saw before. Let's watch it and see how it trades. We usually do not have trade rooms when an item says watch. It might be an event that has been fantastic, but it's stopped performing well, so it's on watch. We're keeping an eye on it. We're not having a trade room currently. We may not be trading it. We're watching it. And it might be something new that's starting to work very well, and we're watching it to confirm that it's an event we want to add, maybe create a DMM for it, and add it to our trading arsenal. So the notes section can say a lot with just one word, watch. Our news trader software has multiple setups, magnet trades. We have 3 strategies. We have the news trader strategy, like I said, version 11, JOBB, News Trader Pro version 11. News Trader, we're not really calling it Pro these days. We have the magnet trade strategy. We're going to talk about that today. And then within some of we have the trap trade strategy, which I'm going to show you because we had an awesome FOMC trade yesterday using the trap trade. Trap trade is a very popular strategy. We've done webinars just on that strategy alone. And in fact, I'll probably do one next week. The trap trade's been a really great strategy, especially in volatile markets like we have today. The trap trade is a specialized reversal strategy. And then within the strategy, especially within the news trader strategy, we have a collection of other setups. So what do I mean by that? Let me show you. This is NinjaTrader Charts. When you right-click the chart and click the word strategy, our software is installed inside of NinjaTrader as if it's a part of NinjaTrader. So the three strategies show up on the left: News Trader, Trap Trade, Magnet Trade. So clicking on the News Trader, JOBB version 11 News Trader, it shows all the different setups that are within that suite of trades. So if I click on the little down arrow, our three most popular setups, I should say, are the breakout, the range trade, and the reverse continuation. Then we have a button, advanced. If you press the advanced button and then press the arrow, you get some extra setups: trap squeezes and squeeze plays and one-click range trade, manual reverse breakout. Most of those work these days. We're concentrating mostly on breakouts, spike trades, range trades, and reversal continuations because those are the bulk of the way that we trade. But we know that our members have enjoyed some of the new things that we've introduced over the years, and not everybody chooses to use the extra strategies, but we've developed them and they're available for many of our members that like trading some of these extra advanced strategies. But the main things we're doing, I'd say about 90% in our room, are the breakouts, the range trades, and the reversal continuations, in addition to the magnets and the trap trades. But when we say our software installs inside of NinjaTrader, that's what we mean. It's literally a part of the platform. It's a custom strategy add-on. As I said, multiple setups. And one of the nice things it can do, it can automate your trade entries, targets, and stops. It could also semi-automate them as well. So you don't have to be fumbling around trying to put brackets on a chart right before a very fast news trade is going to take place. So what is a spike trade to begin with anyway? A spike trade is when we do this. We're going to put orders on the chart, these little X's, above the current price and below the current price. And then the news comes out, the market that we're trading moves through the X's. If it moves up on a spike trade, it fills you long. If it moves down on a spike trade, it fills you short. That's a very simple concept. Every trade that we take, if you think about it, really uses that concept, even a trap trade. With a trap trade, we have two orders that we put above, two orders that we put below. And what's different and unique about our trap trade is that if the market goes up, we're selling the market. If the market goes down, we're buying the market. So it's just a different concept. It's a reversal, a specialized reversal trade. So Richard, if you want to get our free schedule, you can just go to www. This is for everyone. Let me type it in. I'll type it into the chat. www.10minutetrades.com. And you just go to 10minutetrades.com and you can opt in for the free video, How to Find Your Own 10-Minute Trades. We'll add you to the list of people that get our schedule, our weekly schedule. Also, if you need help Or if you want me to add you to that list, you can't figure out how to do it, just send us an email, help@10minutetrades.com. Happy to do whatever you ask us to do within reason. We will happily add you to the list. So, as I was saying about our software, it's a custom strategy add-on to NinjaTrader. It installs into NinjaTrader. It becomes a part of NinjaTrader. You can automate your trades. You could semi-automate them. The targets get placed on the charts. Your stops get placed on the charts. We have trailing stops. We have ways that if a target gets hit, you could move your stop to safety. NinjaTrader has something that other platforms have also called chart trading. So it's very easy to move your stops and targets manually also while you're in a trade. And it's a great platform, especially the most important feature that a company like us needs. If you trade the news, you need market replay or market playback. And that's a feature that NinjaTrader supports. You can play back previous time periods. Very, very important. And even more important, you can play back previous time periods using third-party strategies while you're doing it. And that's why we love the NinjaTrader platform so much. You can test and design your own trades because of that feature. It's really, really powerful. Also, our software is considered a super ATM, an automated trade manager. And that's all part of the putting on your orders automatically or managing a trade semi-automatically. So what do I mean when I say managing a trade semi-automatically? So the perfect trade, you put your orders on the chart, the news comes out, explodes through your orders, fills you, hits your target, you're out of the trade in a moment with a profit. That's a perfect, fully automated trade because it just explodes in one direction if it's a breakout, and you make your money without doing anything. But not all trades work that way. Some trades are not even designed to work that way. Some trades we manage. Reverse continuation trades, trades after the news, we often manage. Magnet trades, many of those we manage. So, for instance, maybe your orders will get placed automatically, but you'll get filled into the trade, and then you manage the trade. If you hit your first target, we can automatically move the stop to profit. If you move your stop in a trailing manner, that's managing the trade, and our software can do that. That category of products that do that are called ATMs, automated trade managers. Many platforms have a language that you have to learn to program in to create the ability to manage your trade. But when you use our software, you don't have to learn a language. You just basically learn to enter numbers into our software. It's very, very easy, and we go over it every single day. We have a setup or an event in our trade room. We're constantly teaching how to use the software and set it up. So that's what we mean when we say an automated trade manager. Many of our members are trading in prop accounts. Many of our members are trading with cash accounts. We are a Bullinox affiliate currently. Why don't I put that? I'll put that link into the. Let me see if I can get this in here. Let's try this. Give me half a second. I wasn't really planning on doing this, but I'll do it since we're here. No matter what, I'm not going to waste your time. We don't do a lot of selling. I'm going to sell a little bit at the end of this, but that's it. We're not here. Our main goal is to teach, sell a little bit so you become a member. We want you to become members. I mean, that's one of the most important things that we think you should do. If you become a member, you're going to learn so much about news trading and how to do it. You're going to love doing it. So here's our Bullinox affiliate. They have a lot of sales, and a lot of people are trading with prop these days. It's just instead of coming up with your own money, you can rent the platform every month, and you don't have to trade and worry about losing your own cash. You pay, let's say, $28, $30 a month. You get the NinjaTrader platform, you get live data, and you can use third-party software. So prop trading has become the rage in the trading business because people don't want to spend or risk their own money. There's downsides to everything. Um, there's rules and a lot of rules when it comes to prop trading. When you're trading your own money, what could be better, right, than making money and then withdrawing it that next day? It's not always that easy to do that in a prop account. You have to follow their rules, their money, their rules. And let's be honest, no one makes it easy to take money out of the market. So you got to work hard. You got to put the time in no matter how you trade. It's very important to work hard and put the time in. So let's discuss the market open. What do you say? We've been trading the market open now for only about 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It's something we had done previously, and we enjoy trading the market opens, and we have a couple of setups that I love. So let's talk about that. First of all, when is the market open? And what markets are we even talking about? There's many market opens, and a lot of what I'm going to say in this webinar can apply to other market opens besides the ones that we trade. We trade the 930 market open using the MNQ or the NQ. That's my favorite setups. And we are also working with the YM. The YM, a little bit harder. The MNQ has been fantastic, been just great market opens. And that applies NQ as well, trades very well at the market open. NQ, your risk is higher because you're more dollars per tick. Risk, obviously, is the amount of money you would lose on a trade that doesn't work out. Market opens tend to be inconsistent. Right now, they're going through a very consistent period. It won't stay this way, but you modify your setups. You try to be alert, aware. You have tools. We have tools that you can use to test. I'll talk about that a bit today, and that helps you to stay profitable. Not just following someone blindly, but being active and proactive and learning how to use the tools that are available. So currently we're trading the market open, MNQ, and we're trading the YM. Some of our members are also trading the RTY. You can trade the ES. You could trade any instrument that you want to trade as long as it moves at the open. Other good opens that you might want to trade: gold, 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time, oil, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Some people like trading European Open, 2 and 3 in the morning a.m. Eastern Time. Some people like to trade the close. When we talk about the close, most commonly people think 4 p.m. Eastern Time. But my actual favorite time to trade the close is 10 minutes before that. And there are other closes that you could trade. You could trade the European close. That can move the markets also. You could also trade another interesting open to trade would be the 6 p.m. Eastern Time open when all the futures reopen after the market closes from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. That's a very nice open to trade. Little bit less volatile, actually most of the time a lot less volatile than the overnight open because it's only an hour. But that's an open that lots of people like to trade. And if you have a tool to test that open, and the tool is market playback and either our software, range trade, or breakout, very, very good ways to trade and test opens. The indexes, like I said, they open at 9:30. They open again at 6 p.m. Gold, that's a mistake. I have to fix that. Gold is 8:20 a.m. and oil is 9 a.m. So that got by me. I'll fix that, I promise, for the next webinar. So choose an open time, choose an instrument, and choose your setup. The two most popular ways of trading opens currently for us would be breakouts, spike trades, or range trades. We have two different ways. Test your trades. You can test your trades using market playback and the ruler. And I'm going to show you playback when I show you about a magnet open. And that's another extra special way you can trade the open. So let me show you a market open, and then I'll show you one of the setups that we're using. So let me grab a video here, and let me show you a very recent market open yesterday. How about we do that? So we're trading the market open almost every single day now. Why do I like market opens? I like market opens because you've got this pent up energy. This pent up energy creates movement, and that's why market opens tend to offer a great opportunity. We actually trade two setups per open. The ones I'm going to show you specifically, and then we also do something very simple but very potentially money saving. If you have a bad trade, very often it's because you realize after the trade goes bad that you got in on the wrong side of the market. So we have a setup, the reverse continuation, that allows you to get right back in. And if your analysis is correct, you can get a lot of your money back because you're going in the direction that you failed to go when you first traded. Or maybe you got it right, your trade ends, and you think the trend is continuing and you want to keep going, but your trade got stopped because you hit your targets. So we have a setup that's really easy to set up. It's called the reverse continuation, and it's a really good setup for after the news trading. We teach our members every day. We do reversal continuations every single day. And I'm really, really happy to say that our members have really come a long way making money regularly using reversals in particular on news trades. But so here's an average market open. The YM is on the left, and you notice I've got these little buttons on the screen, instant long and instant short, a red and a green. Green is instant long, red is instant short. Those are the discretionary market open trades after our main trade is over. Our main trade currently on the YM is one of two setups, a range or a breakout. Yesterday, I was thinking I just wanted a quick scalp on the YM. So this is a new setup that I'm testing right now. We took this trade, watch what happens, a little bit of a breakout with the YM. The market opens, the YM pushes up, doesn't fill. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. Sometimes it might take a minute. Sometimes we'll cancel the trade if we don't get filled. So I'm watching the YM. I was prepared to let it fill. It fills me to the long side, and I've got two contracts, but I'm just looking for a couple of ticks, 11. And boom, it goes, hits my 11 ticks. I'm out of the trade. I was in the market for, 20 seconds, and we made, what did we make? Roughly $100, okay? On the right side, we had our MNQ open trade. The MNQ has been fantastic. I think in 6 to 8 weeks, we've only been stopped 3 times. Very, very few times. The MNQ has been fabulous. It's my favorite setup right now. It's a breakout. There's our orders automatically put on the chart. Price fills us 3 contracts long. Doesn't really even do much chopping around. Little bit up and down. Hits our first target. I move my stop to safety, expand my target so I could trail if we get the opportunity. And that is a very, very important concept to trying to make more money than you originally planned on if the trade continues going in your direction. Sometimes you try to trail and you get a little bit of bad luck and it pulls back on you and takes you out. Sometimes you don't touch the stop and it just keeps going, pulls back, doesn't take you out, goes back in the good direction you want it to, and you make the best profit. But more often than not, you get a good move that allows you to trail and you could continue upping your profit, upping your profit. Yesterday, I tried to trail. I'll show you one more time exactly what happened. MNQ tends to be pretty quick. It fills usually pretty quick. You get your profit usually pretty quick. So there's our orders placed on the chart automatically. Price goes through, we get filled. Now, first X gets hit. When it gets hit, my stop shrinks, but not a lot. It just shrinks in half. Then I move my target. I could have been out of the trade with my second target hit, but I'm trying to get even more profit, especially when I see a magnet up above me, the high of day. The high of day very often gets tested, especially on an open, okay? And that's called a magnet open. That's another way to trade an open. This particular case, it didn't do exactly what we wanted. We still made a very nice profit. We made over like 138 bucks. Literally a minute and 45 seconds of trading that morning. Let me see if we did anything else that morning, if we did any other testing of levels. I don't remember. Let's just see randomly. No, we didn't do any other trading that morning. We had other events. We had oil yesterday. That was yesterday. So that was a winning open trade. Let me show you another one. We're going to go back a little bit just to show. MNQ on the left, YM on the right. MNQ, immediate breakout, winning trade, over. Trade's over. Less than 7 seconds, a winning MNQ trade. Notice on the right, YM isn't filled yet. We were trading a YM breakout on that one. And I canceled it. I said to myself, well, I'm not really loving the way the YM's moving. I'm going to cancel that trade. And that's what I did. Sometimes that's what happens. You cancel the trade. It is what it is. I'll show you another one. All right, I want to find a YM range, but let's show this anyway. 930, this was, you know what, I just showed you this one, I'm sorry. This one is the one that burst up. NQ hits both our targets, hit our first target, we trailed. So let me grab another one real quick. Let's take a look at, let me see if I can find a YM range. Let's try this guy. This one should work. So what's a range as opposed to a breakout? Here you go. So what we do is we create a 5-minute range on the YM. Instead of it being a breakout, instead of it being a bracket trade, we're doing a breakout. We have a line up top, that's number of ticks above the range we're going to enter the market, and we have a corresponding line on the short side, number of ticks below the range we're going to enter a short trade. When the market bursts through the range, we enter into our trade. Now, here comes the YM. Our orders go on at 9:30. We get an immediate fill. The market keeps going. Bingo. Both orders instantly fill over 200 bucks. That was full size YM. That was a $200 trade. If you notice on the right, the MNQ has already gone through target 1 and is getting ready to go through target 2. That was a fantastic open. It just worked beautifully, beautifully, beautifully. I'll show you one more because it was a great open. Obviously, you can lose money on an open. 2 days ago, the open hit my first YM target, immediately reversed, and I only made about 15 bucks because it reversed and it gave up some of my profit. That happens. No trading mentor that's honorable would ever tell you that every trade is profitable, and they're not. But Right now, our prop account is up 1,500 on our market open trades, and our goal is to get funded and keep trading these types of trades. And that's what we're going to do. Now, this is the perfect example of trailing beautifully. YM range trade on the left, and watch what happens. I'll describe it. So we have the same setup you just watched, only instead of it taking place immediately, it hits our first target, pauses, allows me to move my target, my final target, all the way to the low of the day, which is also the magnet. A magnet is the low of the day, and I'm going to explain magnets in a minute. But notice what's happening here. The YM keeps going down, and I keep moving my stop. My stop had been moved into profit because we hit our first target, and I keep moving it until the price reverses or hits my second target. That particular open trade made over $500 because it allowed us to keep trailing, and also our MNQ trade was profitable on the other chart as well. Okay, so those are setups that we really like, and we trade them regularly in our trade room. We have a breakout and a range on the YM, and we have breakouts on the MNQ. Our YM range trade is really quite simple. It's a 5-minute range, and our software very simply allows us to enter these numbers into our software. We have a range start time, we have an end of the range time, we have a command called ticks above the range and below the range, and that's 5 ticks above, 5 ticks below. We have a little box that you check. Draw the range is what that box does. And then we tell the software how many positions and how many contracts. What's your target? We have a 15 and 25 tick target, and then we have a 25 tick stop. Trail, baby, trail. You saw what I mean by trail, baby, trail. If you can get your stop to safety on a trade, nothing is greater than that, especially when you get the price to move in your direction. When the market cooperates, and it often does, the market will continue moving in the direction of your trade. That allows you to trail. So here's how easy it is to put the software settings into our software. You just right click, click on the word strategy, double click news trader. We choose range trade. Bingo, I've chosen range trade. I'm just looking at the market right now. Right now we're on the NQ. All right. So all of these items are potentially items we can change. But do we have to even think of and worry about changing all of them? No. We choose range trade. We scroll down a little, just go down a little bit to the range start time, right? And we put in the start time of our trade. So it's the YM morning trade, 9/24/59. Now I can also save a template so I don't have to do this every morning. 5 ticks above the range, 5 ticks below the range. Show the range on the chart. Click that box. Then we go up and put the end of the range. We started at 9/24/59. We're going to end at 9:30. So we just type in 9:30. And I'm now done typing in all the times. Position 1 and position 2 are both ones. They mean we're going to trade one contract, 2 positions total for the whole trade. We have a target 1, 15 ticks, target 2, 25 ticks, and our stop was 25. Stop loss is 25. That's all I have to do really to get this going. I scroll down. We have 2 other things we do recommend that people do. We like to label all our trades. All of our trades get a name. So that's going to be YM breakout open, BRK, YM breakout. We know it's the open. You don't even have to type that. But you do have to tell the software what account do you want to trade in. if you're going to be on sim like I'm going to be on sim now, because if I show you anything, I'm not trading the live market right now. Or you could choose your prop account, apply it, okay it, and now my trade shows up in the control panel and it has a name, YM Breakout. The only other thing you have to remember to do is make sure your chart trader matches the account you said you were trading. If I enable a trade that the time has already passed, it's going to trigger the brackets. So in this case, it was a range trade, right? So it created the range starting at 9:24, and it keeps calculating it until now because I just turned on the software. That's obviously not the proper way to do things. You don't want to trigger trades after the time has passed, but just wanted to show you how easy it is to create a setup. That's how easy it was to create the range trade setup that we use. Then we also have a breakout setup that we use on the YM. And that setup, let me just get rid of the clock for the moment. Number one was the range. Number two is a breakout. Our entry time is 9:29:59. We use a bracket of 30. Two position trade with one contract in each position. That's what position one means. Target one is 20 ticks. Target two, 35 ticks. And then the stop is 25. That's a different type of trade. That's a breakout. I've shown you two different types of YM open trades. One was a range, one was a breakout. And then we have a scalp YM breakout. That's something new I'm experimenting with, where I'm just looking for a tiny target, positions only on contracts, only on position one. The idea is it's like a sneak attack. You get in and out real quick. Grab a profit, get right out. Grab a profit, get right out. That's a third setup. I'm using a 25 bracket. Position one would be two or more contracts, and I'm just going for 11 ticks. Same stop, 25 tick stop. That's probably the minimum stop I'd use on a YM open trade. And I'm triggering that at 9:29:59. How would you test whether or not you wanted to make sure that this setup would work? So here's the thing. I've given multiple live webinars on how to design and how to test your own trades. And those webinars are free on our Google, our Google account. All you have to do is go to our YouTube account, and you can find multiple webinars on how to design your own trade. So I'm not going to go through the whole process now, but very simply, and I'll show you because I'm going to do something with magnets in a minute. You can use the playback tool in NinjaTrader to design and test your trades. I want to give you the market open, one of our MNQ setups that we're using. The breakout has been really good, triggering at 9:29:59, and we're using a bracket of 30 in most normal markets. You can go up to 40 depending on volatility. And also, the number of contracts is not up to me. That's up to you. If you want to take more risk and try to make more money, then you can add contracts, which is the best way to make money when you have winning setups. Don't make your targets bigger. Just go for an extra contract or two. That will help you when your setups are working. Our MNQ bracket of 30, position one, number of contracts you're going to trade. Position two, it's a two position trade. Target one is 25 ticks. Target two is 50 ticks. The stop sizes that people use on the MNQ can range between 100 and 250 ticks. I've actually been liking the smaller stop because the markets have been working with the smaller stop. 100 ticks has been very good. But keep in mind, the MNQ is only 50 cents a tick. So a 200, well, figure this, a 100 tick stop is only $50. It's 50 cents per tick, 100 ticks, $50. That's not a lot of risk to take on a trade. The bigger the stop, very often in a volatile trade, will keep you in the trade and give you more of an opportunity to get a profit because you'll survive the chop. Okay, so that's something to understand, and it's a great reason why people like trading micros. You can survive and use bigger stops. Let's do a quick discussion of the market close. The market close is interesting, way less reliable in my opinion. But there's one time on the market close that I like a lot. Most people think that 4 p.m. is the market close. And actually, yes, of course, it's the official market close. But we've discovered more problems trying to trade at 4 p.m. than at most other times of the day. And the biggest issue that often comes up is data feed problems. Sometimes the trades just don't trigger well, or orders freeze, or the platform freezes. So I don't really like trading the 4 p.m. close. I like it because I like the moves, but it's not, in my opinion, currently worth the risk, particularly in prop. I think the prop data feeds don't really do a good job at the 4 p.m. close currently. On my favorite time to trade, which is 350, I like prop or cash, and that's my favorite time to trade the close. Let me show you a market close. It wasn't a big winner, but it just happens to be a handy setup that I have here, and I will show you the setup. The market close at 350, it's all one of the reasons why this time of day works is because the market on close orders are released. So these orders get released and they often trigger the market. And the market, of course, usually probably knows that information a few seconds before the public knows it, or the robots trade it faster, if you know what I mean. So, and all that helps to create this move at 15:50 Eastern Time PM that we like to trade. So we put our brackets on the chart automatically. And if you get a good move, here we got a move. It goes through the first target, and then it pulled back. So I'm not showing you a giant winner, but the concept, exactly the same as the market open. If you hit your first target, you have to decide, do I want to move my stop to safety and protect my target and go for a trail? That's what I like to do more often than not. Or sometimes you recognize that might take you out of the trade after your first target is hit. Some people don't move their stop at all, but what that can do is it could turn a winner into a loser. And you know what people like to say, don't ever turn a winner into a loser. And you know, that's sometimes true. Nothing is always true. My way of trading, I don't like to trade and turn a winner into a loser. I like to protect the profit. But there are times when we don't. In the morning, sometimes we have discovered, on the MNQ in particular, if you don't move your stop, you may get more opportunities for profit. Trade management is an art. It's not an always. It's not a perfected way to do things because the market doesn't behave the same way every time. So trade management is definitely an art, and it is something you can practice. But we really like that 350 Eastern Time close. And again, one of the reasons it works is because it is pushed by those market on close orders. They're released at 350. The trade I like right now is a breakout. I trigger that at 1549.59. Generally a 40 bracket. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1, meaning I'm just trading 2 contracts. Target is 25, target 2 of 50, and I like a 100 tick stop up to 250 on the MNQ. And that's our market close setup. All right, and that's the market open and close. Do all strategies and trades use bracket orders? Pretty much for us, many of them do, but the reverse continuation is a discretionary trade. So for instance, let's say Let's say right now you just traded the NQ, right? We're on the NQ, and you got stopped out of your trade, and you had set up on your chart a reverse continuation. Let me show you how easy it is to set up a reverse continuation. Right click, click strategy, double click news trader, change the breakout to reverse continue, choose the number of contracts for position one. So let's say I'm going to choose 2 contracts. I could have a position 2 with 1 contract, a target of 20, a target of 40, and a stop of 25. If I want to move my stop to safety, if my first target is hit, automatically I could type in BE minus 5 at the target 1 stop move, and now I just scroll down. I label the trade because we always label our trades. Reverse continue, MNQ or NQ, whatever instrument it is. Okay. And you choose the account you're trading on, apply it and okay it, and the trade shows up in our control panel. To turn on a reverse continue, I just enable it. But that doesn't put me in a trade because remember, the question you asked, are all trades brackets? No. This trade has a long button and a short button, and it's a discretionary entry because I want to use my judgment, my analysis, my thinking. Maybe I want to trade for a test of the high. Maybe I think the NQ is really bullish, and I can tell that because we have tools that we have on our chart that show us trend real fast. It's recommended to look at a 15-minute chart to verify the trend, but we have an indicator that shows us the trend in a second, in a glance, and we have a very bullish NQ. I might want to take an instant long after the news. And there, I'm in the market, instantly long. I can move my target, second target, to the high a day, which is that green line. I can move my stop into a safer, smarter place below all that consolidation. And now I could wait and see what happens in this trade. That's a discretionary reverse continuation, and it's one of the most popular types of trades we take. And we do them all the time, and they're often triggered by news. This trade is not being triggered by news at the moment. It's being triggered maybe by levels, although it might be just being triggered by people coming out of lunch. It's ending of lunchtime on the East Coast, and you might be getting more volume starting to come in. You'll start to see it in your volume. Or you have a very bullish day, the market may be getting ready to make another run at a high. And that's analysis and decisions you might make to enter a reverse continue. It doesn't mean I'm taking it for real here. I'm just showing you that it's a possible trade. Now, maybe you don't like the trade, it's not working out. You can shrink your stop so that if it goes against you, you don't take a full stop. You could bring your targets closer, right? You could combine your targets into one position and you can get out of the trade, okay, if it didn't work out. The key is reversal continuations. They're not brackets, they're discretionary trades, and we use them very often after the news and sometimes before the news as well. Now, let me go back to my slides because there's one other concept that's really great, and it's really very valuable to know. Is the open too risky for you? Do you not want to take the risk of, trading a breakout or trading a range? Magnet trades offer a whole other system to trade the open. What is a magnet? So the most important thing to understand is the magnet is an exit on the chart represented by levels that lots of traders look at. Lots of traders are always looking, and I will use the word always here. Lots of traders will look at the high of the day. Lots of traders will look at the VWAP. Lots of traders look at pivots, okay? The PP. Those are magnets. Lots of magnets look at the low of the day, okay? Those are magnets. Magnets are exit areas on the chart, exits for our trades that traders look at, place their orders around. So what happens is those areas attract price. We have a system called the Magnet Trade System that trades to exit at those prices. With the open, you can do a high of day, low of day market open trade. So for instance, let me show you a very specific market open that also had a market open magnet. It's really important to understand the concept. So instead of trading it as the breakout, ignore the breakout for a minute and watch this chart and watch what happens on this chart. As this trade continues, you'll notice here the low of the day. So if you imagine if you never took the trade as a breakout and you just set the trade up to work at the low of the day, you would have had a magnet trade on the open. And watch what happens. Price is magnetized. It's going to get pulled into the low. Also, on the open, the MNQ was negative, and we looked at our little indicator called the net change display, and we would have verified by doing looking at a longer time frame chart also to look at the time frame and the trend in the time frame to see if they agreed. If they agree, that's even a stronger reason to play the magnet. In this particular MNQ trade, it kept going. Watch, it's going to get pulled into the magnet, which happens over and over again during the day. It's not just an open trade. Our magnet trade is for many, many different times of day. This magnet trade triggers when it gets close to the low of day. So you don't have any risk until you get close to your exit. Then it triggers. So let's say it triggers right around here. And then the price is going to go through the low of the day. It's going to test it. Our magnet is designed to exit 3 ticks before it tests the low. It also has a setting that lets you create a second position and trade if it goes through the magnet. Now, I don't remember if that particular day happened to go through the magnet also, or if it wound up testing and pulling back. Let's see. It went through. So it didn't go a lot through, but it went through. Oh, nope, let's take it back. It went through decent right there. Okay? So if you had a second position for another extra 10 or 20 ticks, it looks to me like you would have hit it. That's the magnet strategy. So if you come into the market open trade room with us, we will also talk about trading a magnet on the open. The idea is you could also look through a couple of different charts. So you could look at the NQ, you could look at the MNQ in the morning, you could check the RTY, you could check the YM, and you could set up a very simple magnet on the open. So let me show you something because it is interesting. Let me show you a quick market playback, and then we're going to move on to the end of the webinar because we've covered a lot, everything that I promised I would cover. If you have any questions, please ask. I'm happy to answer them. So I'm going to disconnect my live. All right. And I'm going to connect market playback. I've already downloaded the data, but I'll show you how easy it is. I'm going to download September 2nd data. Okay. So let me disconnect market playback for an instant. You can't download data connected to playback. You can download if you're connected to live or if you're not connected. So I'm going to go tools, I'm going to go historical data, and I'm going to download, and I will answer every question when I'm done. I'm going to download September 2nd's YM data. So I put the date on September 2nd, and the YM contract for that is YM 925. It happens to be in my list. Download it. Data is downloaded, and now I'm going to connect playback. All right, and continue. Now I'm going to get like this little control panel. But first, don't forget, I'm trading the YM, right? So let's put the chart on YM 925. There we go. Don't worry about what the chart looks like yet. Don't worry about any other chart. Doesn't matter. We don't need any other setups. Okay, so I'm just removing everything. We're only trading on this one left chart. And we don't need the time because we're going to use the playback to give us the time. Okay. Now, the date we need was September 2nd. And we put September 2nd in both of these boxes. Real easy. September 2nd. And then I'm going to put it in the box on the right also. Okay. In this blank area here, I'm going to right-click my mouse, go to the time that I want to trade. Now, this was a market open trade, so I'm going to go to 9:29. All right, let's go to 9:29 and 30 seconds. So I put in 9:29:30, I OK it. And now if I don't see any price, I'm going to click the little F here. And now I'm at September 2nd, 9:30 and 9:29 and 30 seconds in the morning. And I'm getting ready to trade the open to test the low. I don't have to take a risk on the breakout, and I'm not taking a risk on the range trade. I think there's a real possibility that morning we might test the low. We've been making new lows, looks like all morning. So I'm going to set up my magnet trade. Right click, strategies, click magnet. High of day, low of day is automatic. I'm going to just change my percent proximity to a 10. I've already got one order set up automatically to take me out of the trade 3 ticks before it gets to the magnet. 3 ticks before it gets to the low. So I'm going to let it go. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to increase my stop to 30. I'm going to scroll down. This is how hard it is to set up a magnet. It's already labeled magnet, but I would add YM, okay, because I'm trading the YM to the label. And we're on playback, so that's the account I want to be on. Apply it, okay it, and enable the trade. Click enable, and my magnet buttons show up. Now, Ninja has a bug where if I press play, it's just going to reset my time to 12. I'm going to have to re-enter it. It did that, so I'm going to just right-click in the blank space. I want to start the time a little bit before the open, a little bit before I'm getting ready to trade, so we have time to set up our software just as if it was live. So I'm starting at 9:29:30. 30 seconds before the open, and I'm enabling the trade. Watch what happens. Press play. The market's now moving as if we are there, September 2nd. The magnet has this line here. What's this line? That's our entry. That's our entry. So if I want to enter for the low of the day, that was our proximity. Okay, remember we did this proximity thing? That entry is a little bit too far from the low. So these days, I don't have to worry about the proximity. Normally, I set it to 5 or less, but I just wanted to show you what it does. If it's set to 5, apply it and okay it. Watch what happens. It's much closer to the low. So if we start getting to that low, I want to be entered into the trade. So I'll press play. We're getting closer to the actual open. 9:30, we're 15 seconds away. I can set up an automatic magnet trade by just turning the entry button purple. That will put my trade on when it gets to the thick entry line, and it'll put my target 3 ticks away from the low. That's the way that I like trading magnets the best. If I don't turn on the auto, when it gets to the thick line, it'll make a musical sound and it'll blink purple, and I could press the purple button to enter the orders, to get the orders to trigger. So here's a magnet on the open. Now keep in mind, we have a way that you could use any level on the chart as a magnet. So not only can you trade a low of day or a high of day on the magnet, but you could also trade the VWAP if you think it's going to test the VWAP on the magnet. There's our entry. Now, that particular trade, it went against me because my stop was too small. But look what happened. Normally, I would use a little bit bigger stop than that, especially if I'm trading on micros. With a magnet, you want to use a little bit bigger stop than normal. So watch again with a more appropriate stop size. I'll go back to a few seconds before the trade. Let's go to 9:31. We might even have been in the trade at 9:31. Let's see where we were at. So 9:31, we would have been in the trade. Our stop is a little bit higher. Boom. When it tests the magnet, we get our profit, and it went through quite a bit. We did have the ability to set up a magnet with an extra position to take advantage of going through the market. That's a way that you could trade the open. It's definitely less stressful. It's less risky. If you don't get close enough to the magnet, the trade doesn't trigger. It's a great way to trade indicators you love. If there's indicators you look at the open that you like better than lows of days and highs of days, we have a custom magnet that any level on the chart is the magnet. And instead of using the high of day, you just change it to custom level and you put the trade on that level. So for instance, 45,316. And watch what happens. In this case, I would want to trade long only because that price is way above me. So I have the ability to choose direction in a magnet trade also with a custom level. Long enabled, short enabled. I would say long only. And then apply it. Okay it. You still have an automatic position in target. You might want to make the position a little bit bigger target. Apply it and okay it. This is not going to trigger because we're nowhere near the magnet, but I just want to show you, if you have a custom magnet and you turn the magnet on, your order shows up somewhere near the magnet and you can adjust your entry just by grabbing the entry and moving it. I want to get filled before it gets to the VWAP. I want to get filled, somewhere in this area. And then when it gets to the VWAP, that's the exit. That's the magnet, okay? So that allows you with the custom magnet to use any magnet you want, any level, any indicator to set up your own magnet trades. So let me answer any questions we have. Let me just get rid of the playback tape recorder. And we had a question, what determines your choice of trading the breakout or the range? So Leonard, a lot of times it's really just a question of testing. We test everything we do. So if I'm testing whether or not I'm going to use a range or a breakout, a lot of times with a breakout, we know exactly what time the event is going to take place. So we're more prone to use a breakout when we're more knowledgeable about the exact time that a trade is going to take place. With a range, you may not know exactly what time things are going to happen. So it's nice to create a range that if the range gets broken, you enter. So that's the way that we make a differentiation between the range or the magnet. Now, Sandy's asking through the magnet, extra setting, enters and exit. Sandy, I don't know if that was English or what, but it sounds like you're asking me if you can trade through the magnet. Let me just clarify, it's real simple. You can set up a trade to exit right at the magnet. You can have a next position, totally adjustable, however many ticks you want that target to be. That target will show up when the trade triggers, and then you can move it or leave it exactly where it appears. So you could put it so that it's through the magnet. You could put two contracts at the magnet, but with the settings, you have the ability to adjust the target so it could be anywhere on the chart that you want. Okay, I hope that clarifies. I couldn't really quite understand exactly what you were asking me there, but I hope that that clears it up. So folks, thanks so much for joining our webinar. I hope you learned something. If you'd love to join us in our trade room for all of our upcoming news, earnings, magnet trade rooms, the opens, we want to make you a great offer. You'll get full use of all of our software. It's all part of the magnet trade. It's one setup with more than one position. That's all it is. It's not an addition to the magnet trade, Sandy. It's just adding a second position. That's all it is. It's adding a second position. Folks, if you'd like to join us, we have a great offer for you to take a trial, 30-day trial with 10-minute trades. You get everything that you've seen in this video, full pro membership, our daily market trade reports. You'll get our weekly schedule, which is free anyway, our Pro Trade Room subscription, Trap Trade, Magnet Trade Strategy, News Trader Pro Strategy, and all the setups, everything. Wouldn't you love to learn how to trade? Look at what we did yesterday on the FOMC statement. Most people would be afraid to take this trade at the exact moment of the news. We had members that made more than $1,000 on this trade at the exact moment that the Fed released the news. We were trading the news. We had a trap trade. Let me get yesterday. Make sure I have the right trade because it was awesome. Right as the news came out, our orders right before 5 seconds before our orders came out. On the right, our NQ trade exploded to the upside for an instant $600 profit. Instant. It was less than 2 seconds. Our trap trade on the left filled both our orders short. The price went up, both orders filled short, and then the market reversed exactly the way we want a trap trade to reverse, and we took a $500 profit on that trade. Then we also wound up taking multiple scalps, reverse continues. When we were done, we had about $1,400, $1,500 in profits on the FOMC statement. The point I'm trying to make is we want to teach you how to do this. And you can trade in a prop account, you can trade in your cash account. 30-day trial for $20.25. It's ridiculous. www.gopro25.com. Expires Sunday at midnight. 30-day trial. You get everything I showed you in the video. It doesn't expire tomorrow. It expires Sunday at midnight. You get the News Trader software, version 11. Magnet Trade software will teach you all about appointment-based trading over the course of a full month. You'll learn so much about our system. You'll learn to trade on a schedule. Any earnings trade rooms that come up. This is not earnings season, but there's still usually a couple of earnings trade rooms that come up. We'll teach you how to trade futures on stock earnings, trade on a schedule. I will guide you in the trade room. That's what we do every day that we have a trade room, which is at least 4 times a week. We have multiple trade rooms each day. $20.25 for 30 days. It's absurdly reasonable. www.gopro25.com. When you go there, You'll get our easy to use ordering system, shows you everything you get, the daily market movers, a quick start video that'll help explain all about our trading system, everything that's included, all the software, everything, just so you know exactly what I'm telling you now. Full pro membership. It renews for $97 a month after 30 days. All you have to do to cancel is send us an email, help@10minutetrades.com. Just please send that email before the billing period. That's the only thing we ask. You must send the email before the billing period ends. www.gopro25.com. It is a great deal. I will teach you how to do everything that you saw in this webinar. We'll teach you how to trade the magnets because we have magnet trades all month long. We'll teach you all about the reverse continuations. And of course, we're going to teach about the opens and the close because we do them both. We are concentrating more on the opens these days, but we love teaching and we love trading. And that's the deal. We want you all to take advantage of this. We think if we're not your main trading system, at a minimum, we should be your secondary system. You can use us with other companies because think about it. You know with us when you're going to trade. You have a schedule. You know you'll be there at the market open. You might only want to trade market opens with us. That's fine. But we think we offer a tremendous, tremendous value, great deal. And you can try it for $20.25. If you don't like it, just send an email and it's over. That's all there is to do it. And that's the truth. So that's the deal. All right. Sandy, thank you for the kind words. Sandy just said very, very nice. You'll learn so much in 30 days. It will be a tremendous assistance to your trading knowledge. Real time happening on your screen. Lee is amazingly helpful to all. I'm not a paid employee, just a very thankful member. Thank you so much, Sandy, for the kind words. And everybody, I can't say it better than that. www.gopro25.com. I'll see you all in the trade room. Thanks for joining, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.